Hey guys, it's Montana here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a cool looking portal in Maya using their particle system. Let's get straight into it. To start, this is what we're aiming to create. Looking a bit messy here, but as the video goes on, there's multiple different settings that you guys can change for yourself to customize it to how you want. The end result will look something similar to this. I've added 3 different disc lights to create those colors and to just show all the particles in there. That's just a bit of a rough render, but yes, that is what we will be making today, so let's get to it. So the first thing we're going to do to start is we are going to change our tab from modeling to FX. That's just to make sure we have everything we need up here. Then we're going to go and make a NURBS circle. With this, we're just going to change it into the shape you want. So if you want a small one, you can have a small one. If you want like a long or wide one, you can. I just want mine to be a bit bigger. Make sure it's floating off the ground. We do want a little gap between the portal and the ground, just so when the particles are falling down, we can actually see a cool effect of it swirling on the floor and see it actually dropping, making it feel like it's floating in midair. So once you're happy with where it is and you're happy with the size and everything, then we can start adding the particles to it. So making sure we're clicked onto our NURBS circle in the outliner, we go into nparticles and emit from object. We want to click the box next to it so that it opens the settings window. Then in here is where we can create its name, pick how many particles we want, all that. Choosing what type of emitter we want as well, because if we have it on Omni, it won't come out as a circle, but it'll come down in strips, which is a cool effect, but isn't really what we're hoping for today. So we are just going to name this portal. You can name it whatever you want. This is normally customized and default to be around 200 particles to 500. For this project and for this effect, I normally like to have it quite high, so for this one I normally choose to prefer to have it between 4,000 to 5,000. This time, just to see how it goes, 4,000 is always good. The final result, which you saw at the start of the video, that had around 14,000 to 16,000 particles in it, just so I could get that consistent look. So making sure that it's not on Omni, we want it to be curved because then it will follow the curve of the line. Yep, we can change speed later. Let's just click apply for now. Awesome. Let's see how this looks. Okay, cool. Before we get into making it look pretty, we want to make a collision happen with the particles on the ground, because right now it's just going straight through the floor and we don't really want that. So what we're going to do, there's 2 ways to go about this. We can either create a plane. We can either create a plane, scale it to the size we want. Cool. And then we can go into ncloth and create passive collider. This is fine, it works how it should. And this is also very helpful if you're putting this into a scene that's already existing and you just need to mimic the floor in the scene. But since we're just doing this for fun, we don't need to have a plane. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this away. And instead, we are going to go to our nucleus, find the ground plane tab, and click use plane. Now, this just takes a look at where our grid is, and it sees that as the floor now instead of just going through it. So if we go back, it works exactly the same as it did with the ncloth collider. So this is fine for now. This is what we're going to use. If you guys want to use the other one, test it out, please go ahead. But yes, we can move on to the fun part now, which is making it look pretty. So what we are going to do is let's start with the speed and gravity. So for me, like I said before, this is just a tad bit fast. I would like it to be a bit more flowy, so what we can do is we can go to our gravity and lower it. I'm gonna go for probably about a 3. Yeah, so that's like getting better. It's not really my favorite, so let's lower it to about a 2.5. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot more now. While we're here, we can also go to our portal tab, find speed, and let's make that a 0.5. Let's have a look now. It's still a little bit fast for me, so try 0.2. Yeah, I would say that's much nicer. I might change the gravity, but for now, this is totally fine. Okay, so for now, we can see that a lot of the particles are just collecting on the floor and they're not really going anywhere. We don't want this because then it makes the illusion look really heavy, and that's just not something we really want. We want the program to be nice and light, which makes everything just run smoother in life in general. So let's just let that run through. Awesome. Now we can see a lot of it just collecting at the bottom, like it's just piling on and on and on. So instead of it just staying there, we actually want the lifespan to decrease. So what we're going to do is we are going to look at nparticle nucleus. No, nparticle, and we're going to go to lifespan. See how it's on live forever? We will just change it to random range. This will just like pick bits and pieces and just basically kill them off every now and then. So for now the lifespan is 1 second. We actually might change that because they're not going to go anywhere. Yeah, they're not really reaching anywhere and looks kind of dim and boring. So let's make that, let's try 5. Make this a 1, see how we go with that. Okay, cool, so that's much more exciting. Okay, awesome. So now that we have that, we can start making it look pretty. So what we want to do is we are going to add some turbulence, because even though this does look pretty nice, we do want it to look more whimsical and magical. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to field and solvers, go down to turbulence. Now with turbulence, right now it's not doing anything, but if we change the magnitude and the attenuation, it starts to do some cool stuff. Awesome. So as you can see, the lower the attenuation, the more spread it becomes. A bit of a mess, but that's fine. We'll just tune this a bit to make it look pretty. So I'm just going to fiddle around with this and make it look pretty, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I'm really starting to like how that looks now. So in that little bit, I was just going backwards and forwards, just like increasing the magnitude and attenuation just until I was happy with how it looked. And now I really like how it looks. We do also want to give it a kind of swirling effect, so you don't have to. If you want it to just go out sporadically like this, you can, but I do want it to kind of have a swirling effect around it, just to create like kind of tornado look. So to do that, we just go here on our end particle in the outliner, and we go back to our field and solvers, and we just click on the vortex. Now with this vortex, it doesn't look like it's doing much, but if we just turn up the magnitude just a little bit, we already see that the effect is starting to come in. So like before, just messing around with this until you're happy with an outcome. Like to me, I think that looks really cool. Alright, so that is how we get a portal looking thing. This is just one thing and it's mainly to make everything look really cool, especially if you want to make things magical and make it seem fun. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching.